Hello guys, this is Flortrix and welcome to my new build video. Today I'm going to talk about the Spirit Ranger in Player vs Player. This build is actually really good for surviving in PvP, but also for dealing damage. So it is actually a class that you can easily survive, like 1 vs 1 or 2 vs 1. But the Spirit Ranger is also really good when you're going with a team to mid. So first of all I'm going to talk about the traits, and next I'm going to talk about the way how you have to play with the Spirit Ranger. So for the traits you pick 0, 2, 6, 6, 0. For skirmishing you pick 2, so you get Tailwind. With Tailwind you can actually gain swiftness when you swap between your weapons, which is really nice in PvP. And you also pick 2 Sharpened Edges to cause bleeding to the enemy when you crit. Then, because the Spirit Ranger is a class that is really good in surviving in PvP, we pick 6 for Wilderness Survival and 6 for Nature Magic. For Wilderness Survival, the first thing you get is Natural Vigor, which will increase the endurance regeneration, so you can even dodge more. Second, you get Shared Anguish, which is a bit similar to the next trait, but first I'm going to talk about this one. When an enemy causes like stun, daze, knockback or pull, it will be automatically transferred to your pet for the first time. For the second time it will be transferred to you. But it is a really nice trait, so when the enemy comes and they like want to launch you from the beginning, they will first launch your pet instead. So it's really nice. Then this companion defense, when you like dodge in PvP or when you're in combat, you get protection. Then the next trait, which was similar to this one, when an enemy will apply stun, daze, knockback or pull, you will gain camouflage, so you will become invisible and you can even surprise them more. Then the next is peak strength, which will make sure that you will deal more damage when you're above the threshold, which is 90% of your health. And the last trait is Empathic Bond. So pets will practically take conditions from you, so when an enemy causes 3 conditions to you, it will take the 3 conditions, and after that the conditions will be applied on you. So for Nature Magic we also pick like 6. First you get Rejuvenation. When your health is like below the threshold or 75%, you get regeneration. Then the next trait is Vigorous Spirits. Because this is the Spirit Ranger, we are going to use our spirits like you see over here. So the first trait, Vigorous Spirits, so the spirits have increased health and a greater chance to trigger their benefits. So you see, when you just trigger them you get a little benefit, but you can also get some conditions and some boons from it. So they are really nice and they really help you to survive because you're a Spirit Ranger. Then here, this will make sure when you get a boon, your pet will also get that boon. Then the next one, Spirits Unbound. This will make sure that your spirits can actually follow you. When your spirits are like stuck, they move when you have to like dodge for the enemy. It's really not nice when your spirits are not in the right trigger field. So now they are really going to follow you and help you where you want it. Then Bountiful Hunter, which will make sure that your pets and you yourself will deal more damage when you have a boon. So the more boons you're having, the more damage you will be dealing. And the last one is Nature Vengeance, which will when you trigger like a field of one of those spirits, they will get like a larger field when it is killed, and so they get an extra boon. So that is it for the traits. Now I'm going to talk about the amulets and the runes and weapons. For the weapons you use first of all the short bow. The short bow is very nice for the ranger in PvP because you can cause like bleeding with it, you can cause poison with it, you can get swiftness from it, you can get crippled to your enemy and more bleeding, and even daze and stun. So the short bow is a really nice weapon to use in PvP. And for the runes you use Sigil of Geomancy and Sigil of Force. For your weapons, you're going to use the Berserker sword, or just a sword, with a torch. Because you're a Spirit Ranger, you have more health and you can actually go into close combat, which is really nice for the Ranger because you can deal a lot of damage with close combat. So you pick again the Sigil of Geomancy, which will inflict bleeding, and the Sigil of Smoldering, which will inflict burning duration. Because we are going to use a torch, we are going to use more burning duration, because that will be really nice. For the rune, we use the Rune of Forge. The Rune of Forge is a nice rune which will give us toughness and burning duration. Toughness, so it will be harder to kill us, and burning duration, so it will be sure that we will burn our enemies a lot. So we get like burning from our torch, extra burning from the rune, and this rune will also get even more burning, and when we reach 50% health we gain protection for 10 seconds and burn all nearby foes. For the amulet, we will use the Rabbit Amulet because it will give us precision, which will let us hit more, toughness because we want to take less damage, and condition damage, which is also really important because we are giving them fire, we are giving them cripple, we are giving them bleeding, poison. So with all those conditions, it is really nice to use this amulet. So for the skills, for the healing skill, I think the Healing Spring is the best one you can get, because you get like 5k healing from it, and also regen, and also condition removal, and for your allies, they can get into it and also heal, and it also just has like 30 seconds to get it again. So it's a really nice healing skill. For the spirits, I've chose for the Storm Spirit, the Sun Spirit, and the Stone Spirit. Why did I choose for the Storm Spirit? Because it will get us swiftness when we hit, and when we trigger it we also get a lightning strike, which is really nice for us. So you can actually deal damage and get like a swiftness boon from it. Then the next, Sun Spirit, when you trigger it you actually burn, so again that burning, you burn them, but when you trigger it you also give them blindness for 5 seconds, so they're going to miss their next attack. Then the Stone Spirit, which will give us protection on a hit, and when we trigger it you give them cripple and immobilize. So those 3 spirits are really nice, but the best of all I think is the Spirit of Nature. This one doesn't only give you the health, so when you use it it will heal you, but the best thing you can use it for is the revival skill. You can really troll your enemies by using this skill. So when you trigger all your spirits, like I'm doing now, they will give you like more protection, but this one is the best. So when you are like fighting, for example, so here you see an enemy, you're fighting, just a bit fighting, and when you go in close combat you trigger all your first 3 spirits, and now you go into combat, burn them a bit, then get away, dodge back, hit back, dodge back. So that's actually really nice. But suppose that we are like almost dead, and just before we are dead, so we get like 1k health or even less, we trigger this spirit, then we die. When we are dying, this spirit is actually doing its move, and when we get down it finishes its move and we automatically get up and are revived. So it's really nice. You can also use that trick for like your allies in PvP, so it's a really nice trick. And also your allies also get like the boons that you trigger from your spirits. A ranger also uses his pets, and I've chosen first of all for the wolf, because the wolf has this terrifying howl which will deal damage, and also give fear, which is the most important. So if we give them fear, they will run away. We can choose to escape or deal more damage. And the next one I've chosen is the Crichton Drakehound, and with it you get Intimidating Howl, which will immobilize your foe and also deal some damage. So this is really nice, I think. So now I'm going just teach how to play with it. First, when you see an enemy, trigger your spirits. Don't trigger your last elite skill yet. You only have to trigger it when you think you're going to die. So what do? You see your enemy, you go in and far, you hit with your short bow, and you let your wolf at it and let him howl. When he howls, you use your other skills. And then just before you are going too close to him, you trigger all your spirits. They will trigger like a field blast, and then get close to him and hit him with your torch and your sword. And then just like run around him. And when you're like low to health, switch back to your short bow and hit him from a distance, and you get him bleeding and even more bleeding and then stun. Then you can even switch between pets if you want to, and then trigger your spirits again, get close and hit him. So this is really nice. I hope you guys enjoyed the build video. If you have more questions, just ask, don't be afraid to ask. There is a link in the description where you can find my builds, and please just subscribe. Okay, see you guys later.